What is up, guys? Beancrew49 here. We are back on the Desolation map. And we find ourselves in the ghetto once again. In the ghetto! I'm determined. Guys, I'm so determined to get this ghetto completed. I want to play on the ghetto so badly. It's been in a state of limbo for so long that I'm feeling kind of like I've been a bit of a failure here and taking so long to get this ghetto going. But that's what we're going to work on today. I'm going to get this ghetto going, and I'm going to be filling the O'Dab's Brewery with stuff. That's right, guys, the O'Dab's Brewery. A little dab will do ya. Okay? There she is. Oh, it's beautiful. This is a huge project, okay? I thought that I would, I'll just go to O'Dab's to fill the chest. No big deal, right? Wrong. I barely scratched the surface in this video. I got so many chests to fill up in this thing that's... Man, it's going to take a lot longer than one video to get it done. So I'll do the rest of it off camera, of course. I'm not going to do this on camera again. But yeah, it's just filling chests, man. A lot of beer. I'm going to be using Potion of Slowness to represent beer at O'Dab's. I figure, we'll save the poison potions for like the hard stuff. Beer just makes you slower, right? That's the idea behind O'Dab's. So I'm going to just rename a bunch of beverages and go to town on that because... This is O'Dab's Brewery and a little dabadilla, so there you go. Alright, so I'm going to be doing this in fast forward motion. You guys know what that means already. You guys have been around the block or two. So you know that Mondays means it's Creative Question of the Week time, the part of the series where I answer questions provided by you, the community. And I spend 15 minutes or so just answering whatever question that you have for me. And it could be anything, really. That's why it's called Creative Question of the Week. You're supposed to be creative when you think about it. So, I need you guys to put your creative questions of the week in the comment section below for next week. The more questions we get, the better off we're going to be. Trust me on that. Okay? Alright, so, yeah, put those in the comment section below, and I would appreciate that greatly. Alright, this week's Creative Question of the Week comes from Damar. I feel like we recently had a comment from Damar. Right? Maybe that was like a comment of the week. I don't know. But thanks, Damar, for your question. He asked, Creative Question of the Week. What events do you think will happen because of the whole problem with North Korea? Oh, thank you, Damar. I really do appreciate that. And he's talking about... to be honest, guys, I don't know what he's talking about, okay? I don't read the news. I stay far away from the news. I know what the news is, and I know what they're trying to do, and so I don't read it. But I do look at the headlines, right? I'll look at the headlines just to see what kind of lies they're telling people these days. And the headlines are all about North Korea right now. At least in the United States. The United States media is making a big hoopla about North Korea pointing missiles and threatening to blow things up. And just basically causing fear, right? And this is what I want to say about it, okay? And this is I'm going to be using some logic, right? This is not my opinion. Let's use some logic here. North Korea has kind of shut off their borders with foreigners. Their media is completely in-house. We don't know what their media is talking about. We don't know what their leaders are going on about. They've basically shut themselves off from the rest of the world. So... the American public, as far as like information coming out of North Korea, we have zero. There's no independent news covering North Korea. Everything we know about North Korea, everything, comes from our media and our government. That should send off some red flags right away. Everything we know about North Korea comes from our media and our government. Now, we've been down this road before. We've talked about this in the past, guys. There's a lot of fear mongering, scare tactics. How do you control a large group of people? You keep them afraid. How do you manipulate a large group of people? Present to them a situation that they should be fearful of, and then offer them the solution, right? You are the ones who are going to fix it, and that's what the government basically does. So I'm not saying that North Korea isn't pointing missiles and threatening to blow stuff up. I'm not saying that because I don't know. I have there's zero information coming out of North Korea. But what I'm saying is They don't know. I don't know that they're pointing missiles at us either. I don't know that they're doing that. I'm not one to just blindly have faith in media and government. So I'm not just going to believe what they're saying about North Korea because they have an agenda. The media's agenda is to make people fearful, and the government's agenda is far more complex. Far more complex. The Korean War, we basically went into Korea and decimated villages and killed as many people as we could. Something like 1.5 million civilians died during the Korean War. We just went in there and just killed a lot of people, okay? So naturally, I guess the Koreans are not happy about that. Not the North Koreans. So I guess they they do have a reason to hate the U.S. and so I'm not saying that they're not, threatening stuff, but like I said, I'm not saying that they are either. Okay? I don't believe the government or the media. But let's look at our own government's track record here. Okay? Let's just take a little look at what we've done in the past here when it concerns dictators. The U.S. doesn't like dictators. Okay? The U.S. doesn't like dictators because we can't control them. They're people with minds of their own, and they do whatever they want. The United States wants the rest of the world to be under their control, under the control of the United States, so that we remain the superpower. So we want, places like England, Australia to be, little versions of us so that we can control them. We know what they're going to do. But the United States doesn't like dictators because we can't control what they do. So the United States has systematically infiltrated, attacked, and killed dictator after dictator after dictator. Well, they've tried. And if they haven't succeeded, then they've tried. I mean, you look at Saddam Hussein, Gaddafi, Castro. Basically, we've tried to destroy these dictators any way that we possibly could. Okay? And then here comes Kim Jong-un, or whatever his name is. I don't even know what his name is, right? It's Un, right? I think it's Un. And that's just the next dictator in the line of dictators. And if he's not careful, he's going to go the route of Saddam Hussein. if he's not careful. So I hope that he is paying attention to history if he wants to, some self-preservation. So he's next on the list. And the government probably is trying to line up their next invasion. The Middle Eastern invasions went perfectly according to plan, and it's still going according to plan. And it's kind of winding down. It's not winding down. It's actually just ramping up. It's just getting started. But we like to have, our next war on the back burner. We don't like to go very long without a war. So we got this one brewing, right? They're brewing this one. And the way to go to war is you have to have the backing of the American people. So when 9/11 happened, that was the perfect opportunity to infiltrate the Middle East finally on a massive scale, because the people were, having emotional reactions. They were scared, and they were willing to give up their freedoms, and they're also willing to, hostilely take over a whole region. And it was based on the fear that was created from the 9/11 attacks. So the governments will use that. Pearl Harbor was a way to get involved into the World War II, and you need fear, you need control in order to get things done on a governmental level. You need the backing of the people. So the United States now is setting up their next war with North Korea, and they need the backing of the American people. So what's the best way to get the backing of the American people? What's going to make them the most fearful? Nuclear holocaust, right? So the best thing that the United States can do to generate a war with North Korea, or just even in that region, And you know what I think, guys? I don't think it's just about North Korea. I think it's about China, too. The United States would really like to fight China. And if it has to be through North Korea, then so be it. Just like we fought the Russians, but through Vietnam. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about? This would be a way to fight China, but through North Korea. So the United States is setting up their next war. They need to have the backing of of the people. So they give them the fear of nuclear holocausts, right? And now people are very, very fearful that nukes are going to be used. And if the threat of nukes is strong enough, then the people will say, you know what, we should use our nukes first, right? If the threat's strong enough, right? But let's go back to the very beginning of the video. Everything we know about North Koreans and their nukes comes from our government. And our government would like a war. So can you believe anything our government says about North Korea? Can you believe a single thing they say about North Korea? Same for the media? Absolutely not. Don't trust it, guys. Let's look at history here. Okay, North Korea has nukes, right? Okay. What is the only country in the history of human beings to use nuclear weapons on other people? The only country. The United States. And you know how many times? More than once. We're the only country to drop nukes on innocent people. The only country to ever do it. Yet we're the one who decides who can have nukes and who doesn't? We're the ones who'd be trusted with our nukes? If anything, if I'm looking at this from the Korean perspective, I would be very, very afraid, okay, of the United States. We have shown that we have the potential to drop nukes on cities. On 2 cities. We dropped nukes on 2 different cities. Holy cow. If anyone shouldn't have nukes, it's us. Alright? Man, but you know, you can have nukes if you're going to be under our control. Look at Israel. Israel's allowed to do whatever they want. They can have all the nukes they want. They can point nukes at whoever they want. And the United States wouldn't bat an eye because Israel is under our thumb. We can control Israel. So we don't care if they got nuclear weapons, right? But if Kim Jong-un has nuclear weapons, if he's worried about the only country in the history of humanity, to ever drop nukes, then he's an evil dictator. He's got to be taken out. Let's try to have some perspective, my friends. Look at things from the Korean perspective. This superpower came into your country, killed 1.5 million civilians. They basically took away their country, took it away from the North Koreans. Flash forward 70 years, however long it's been, 60 years. And now, all they want to do is have some protection for themselves. Everyone else has nukes. Everyone else does. They want nukes too. Just so that, if there is a threat of war, they're not caught with their pants down. But the United States says no. Right? You would hate these people. I would. Trying to dictate how they should live. So it's a whole mess. And again, I'm not saying that North Korea doesn't have nukes that are pointed at the United States. I'm not saying that. I don't know for sure. That is my point. You can't know for sure. You don't know anything for sure because you're being told by one source. And this source has an alternate agenda. And that is to stimulate the war economy. They want to stimulate that the industrial military complex. Because it's a lot of it's based on funding. During wartime, the military gets funded trillions of dollars a year. Maybe it's not that much. I'm not really sure exactly how much. They don't even really tell us how much they spend on the military. Because if they did, and you realize that one fighter jet could take care of the homeless problem in the country, there would be no more homeless people if we spent the money that we spent on one jet. Think about that. The end to homelessness is flying around North Korea. You know what I mean? I don't know where they're flying around. They don't tell us that either, right? We're not privileged enough to know about the inner workings of our own military. So it's a whole thing, guys. And so what do I think will happen as a result of this? To answer the question, that's up to you. Are you gonna buy into fear and hysteria? Are you going to take one side's word for it and not even hear the other side? It's up to you guys. Basically, it's up to the American public. If the American public allows themselves to be scared into such hysteria that they authorize basically military action, then we're probably going to go to World War III. China's probably going to get involved. Russia's probably going to get involved, and it'll be World War III, basically. And but if the American people resist it and they say, we're not buying into this fear mongering, we know what you're doing, then it'll be business as usual. And they'll probably move on to the next dictator, or they'll cause another 9/11, in which case then you will consent. So gotta keep your heads on a swivel, guys. Gotta keep your wits about you in these trying times. It's crazy. It's hectic right now. But you guys gotta be intelligent. You gotta be smart. You gotta hear both sides of the story before you make any assumptions, alright? Alright, thank you, Damar, for that question. I had fun answering that one. Please keep them coming, guys. I'd love to hear your questions. Put them in the comment section below. CQotW. Alright, I got more work in the ODABs to do, so I gotta get back on that. But then the ghetto is gonna be almost done. So, a little bit of work to do. I do have to fill the cars, though. Oh, the cars are gonna take a long time. Alright, don't think about these things. Just do it, Bean. Don't think. Alright, guys, that's gonna be the video for today. I want to thank you guys for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed this. Put a comment in the comment section, including your creative questions of the week. And please subscribe if you haven't already, because you don't want to miss this adventure, let me tell you. Alright, guys. Thank you for that. Thank you for everything. Leave a like if you enjoyed this. Happy Minecrafting. Peace.